Rome, a city of ambition, inspiration, and legacy, has completely fallen. No emperor or general is left to rule the city. The name of fame, success, and prosperity is buried below its land. But is that truly the end? Does the fall of the Roman Empire mean the complete disappearance of imperial influence? Absolutely not. The story continues. The Byzantine, its legacy, and the legacy of old Rome still live. The world we live in today is built on the foundation that the Romans laid. From the language we speak to the laws that govern us, the impact of Rome is everywhere. The past is never dead. It whispers in our laws, it sounds in our architecture, and it shapes the way we think. Even if we forget the fighters' and emperors' legacy, it is still the idea of experiencing the power of a civilization that continues to shape our world. So let's take a look at the hidden historical legacy that surrounds us every day. What legacy does Rome leave behind? It is more than just disasters and multiple legends who have ruled the city. It's not only a framework, but also a set of ideas and practices that have significantly impacted the development and growth of Western civilization and continue to sound in the 21st century. We still don't realize it, but Rome's legacy provides the foundation upon which today's societies are built, the laws and rights of citizens through which we live peacefully. So let's start with the law. The Latins are the masters of the law, creating a balanced legal system that is both practical and philosophical. Roman law is not just a set of rules, but it's a way we think about justice, human rights, and the relationship between the citizens and the state. The Corpus Juris Civilis, made under Justinian, became the foundation of the legal law system across Europe. Today, imperial laws can be found in many legal codes around the world. Concepts like due process, the presumptions of innocence, and the right to a fair trial, all these rights have been produced in historical legal thought. Lawyers still study historical laws and get information about fundamental legal principles. For example, in the landmark case, Miranda v. Arizona, 1996, these rights ensure that individuals are informed of their rights to remain silent and their right to an attorney. This practice is rooted in the Roman law principle of presuming innocence. International law, contract law, and property law all owe a debt to the legal innovative principles of the imperialists. It is proof of their intelligence that their legal system continues to be relevant and serve people after so long. The phrase, "I plead the Fifth," is directly related to these Roman legal concepts and an effective legal system. Then its governance. The Roman Republic. Its elected officials, the Senate, and assemblies provided a representative model that has influenced political thought on public service roles. The idea of a government based on the consent of the governed, of citizens participating in the political process, is a different historical contribution to political thought. The US Senate, for instance, takes its name and inspiration directly from the Imperial Senate. It is argued that it is more than just an inspiration, as many rules and procedures are directly copied from the Roman Senate. For instance, the UK Senate's connection to the Roman Senate is its practice of the filibuster, where senators can prolong debate to delay or prevent a vote on legislation. This sounds like the lengthy and strategic debate that characterized the Roman Senate, where orators like Cicero would deliver extensive speeches that sway opinions and influence decisions. Instead of its autocratic tendencies, the Roman Empire leaves a lasting influence on governance. The concept of a centralized state with a professional bureaucracy and a standing army was found and refined by the citizens. Also, the idea of a universal citizen, bringing people together who come from different cultures and backgrounds under a single and legal political framework, is a Western innovation. The imperial way of ruling has significantly impacted modern countries with their organized governments and administrations, and promises to serve all the citizens equally. It is not just about practices and structures. Roman society also provided us with a set of values and ideals that continue to shape our modern political structure. Concepts like the public thing, virtue, dignity, and seriousness are central to political beliefs. The Romans believed that citizens had a duty to uphold laws, follow them, and help maintain order in the state. These values, often idealized and imperfectly practiced, and promote a balanced society, also continue to inspire both political leaders and citizens. Let's move to its architecture. Rome's architecture is also characterized by its grandeur. It practically highlights public work. The Romans built roads, bridges, aqueducts, and public baths on a scale that had never been seen before in the ancient world. They use concrete, arches, and domes to create structures that are both functionally and aesthetically impressive and stay strong for a long time. Imperial buildings are more than just about aesthetics and wonder. It is a good source for making a long-term investment in the infrastructure that benefited many people of that time. Today, Roman architectural influences can be seen in our buildings around the world. Government buildings, museums, universities, and libraries often combine with classical architectural elements such as columns, domes, and arches. The use of concrete, introduced by the citizens, remains a standard construction material. Modern engineers still study Western engineering tricks and techniques, marveling at the interest and durability of Roman structures. If you look at the design of Thomas Jefferson's Monticello, you can witness that its neoclassical style with columns and a central dome is inspired by Roman architecture, particularly the Pantheon. Moreover, ancient Rome's urban planning had a lasting influence on today's world. Western cities are typically laid out on a grid pattern, with straight streets, public squares, and well-defined neighborhoods. This model of urban planning has influenced the design of cities around the world, from Washington to DC to Buenos Aires. The idea of creating planned communities designated for residential, commercial, and public use owes a debt to Roman urban planning principles. Overall, it's all about efficiency, intelligence, and planning. Also, if we look into imperial culture, Roman culture is a blend of indigenous traditions and influences from other parts of the ancient world, specifically Greece. The people of Rome adopted and adjusted Greek art, literature, and philosophy, creating a unique cultural system. Ancient Rome's literature, from epic poems of Virgil to the philosophical essays of Seneca, continues to be read and studied today. Roman art, with its realistic portraits and its grand historical stories, has influenced the artists and their work for centuries. Ancient arts give inspiration to new artists to see the world from a different perspective and create natural beauty in their unique ways of ancient eras. Their Latin language also continues to inspire the world in many ways. It plays a major role in developing English, specifically in the fields of law, science, and government. Many technical and medical terms have Latin roots, which help professionals to communicate across the world with a shared vocabulary. Romance languages such as Spanish, French, Italian, Portuguese, and Romanian directly come from Latin, providing a deep influence. People even unknowingly use Latin-origin words in casual conversations. The ancient language is still alive in textbooks, legal documents, and scientific studies, making it one of the lasting contributions of Rome. Beyond language, Roman values and ideas also shape Western culture. The citizens strongly believe in organization, discipline, and practicality. Also, Roman military foundation and tactics inspired Napoleon's battlefield techniques. However, their discipline in organization influences political structures and inspires business management practices. Their approach to governance also marks a significant impact on the 21st century administration systems. Additionally, Western legal heritage expands to entertainment as well. The Romans are in love with grand competitions, and their passion for public events gives rise to large-scale entertainment. Modern theater, sports competition, and public events reflect their traditions. The concept of large stadiums, where thousands of people come together to watch games and performances, comes from imperial traditions. Even their sharp, sarcastic sense of humor has carried through literature, television, and, yes, films to entertain modern audiences. Also, modern sports events like WrestleMania reflect the Colosseum's influence, theatrical entrances, and high stakes designed to battle the massive crowd, much like ancient gladiator games. Christianity, the major faith of the Roman Empire, packs an equally powerful punch. The Catholic Church has its tiered hierarchy, which one adapted from the Roman government. Latin has stayed the official language of the Church for centuries and is a way to hold such Western traditions alive in religious rites. Moreover, the law, culture, and its people, their complexity, draw boundaries around good and evil. In this way, we see another way history and philosophy work in tandem with the Christian faith, clearly defining good and evil. Christianity spread in Europe, mostly based on the street roadways and waterways, and religious teachers bringing teachings to areas abroad. Additionally, Rome's legacy is not entirely positive. Societies heavily create extreme inequalities between the rich and the poor. The rich people enjoy all the wealth and luxuries, and the middle and lower classes struggle to survive. Political corruption weakens the empire, showing the dangers of absolute power. Leaders compete for control, often using bribery, manipulation, and violence to gain influence. Also, Rome's poor financial decisions, heavy taxation, and overspending weakened the nation. Military overextension, with too many resources spent on distant wars, highlights the risks of stretching beyond limits. These issues mirror modern challenges when countries focus too much on expansion without stability, teaching us to balance spending on growth and security. For instance, in 2008, the UK faced a financial crisis due to unchecked practices by major banks and financial institutions that led to economic collapse and affected other parts of the country. The Roman legacy is complicated but full of achievements and failures. Their change in government, architecture, philosophy, and engineering continues to structure our modern civilization. At the same time, their mistakes remind us of the dangers of inequality, corruption, and abuse of power. The West Roman Empire and its fall serve as a lesson for us regarding human justice, leadership, and behavior. Examining their triumphs and failures allows us to understand that we need to prioritize creating just societies over larger ones. And so the journey of the Roman Empire, starting from a quaint village by the Tiber River to a civilization that extended across the continents, has come to an end. The Roman Empire is filled with successes, disasters, brilliance, and mistakes. As we have explored this series, we have seen the magnificence of Rome's boastful architecture, the intricacies of its culture, the prowess of its law, as well as the multifaceted religion with its people at the center. Its successes, and to this day, continue to echo in the failures of empires after it, serve as a reminder of the challenges of governing a civilization, as well as the true essence of common interest and the shortcomings of even the strongest empire. Stones may fall in Rome, but the spirit of change, the pursuit of equity, and the notion of a better life for many is a flame that is not extinguished. It is now our responsibility to learn from every single victory and failure, and draft a dream where people can find rest in equity, and justice no longer becomes a word caged in a dictionary.